Hello, it is 2017. I never seem to think about the year ahead until it's like there. I think that I think about it, and then it comes and it's like, oh, actually, I have had like no plans and not considered this at all. And then I watch other people's like New Year's resolution videos, and I think that kind of clarity, that consideration of self would be really helpful. And then it usually gets to about halfway through January, and then I make a list of like 10 things I want to get done and post them on Twitter, and they're all absurd. So this year I have like sat down and I've thought about it, and I have 3 things. Obviously I have like other things I want to get done, but these are 3 things that I feel like are purposeful goals. Thing number 1 is keep a written record of what I've done every day. I'm pretty good about this already. I have a journal here, which is like a Field Notes Ambition edition. So like every page is a week, so it's literally like 4 lines a day. I think it's really nice to like have a record of where you've been and who you've been with. So on some days it's just like lists of people and places, on other days it's like, Sherlock wasn't as good as I expected. Sometimes I don't do it though for like 2 weeks, and then I have to go through my Google Maps timeline to patch together what I did 2 weeks ago, which is annoying and sad. My Boxing Day entry just says, oh, Boxing Day, heart. That's a shame. I want like an actual record. I'm really good with like holiday journals. Usually I keep really like 4 or 5 pages a day, travel journals, and same with like when I go to summer camp. The only times I missed out on having a written record last year was like the bit just before and the bit after travel, where you're like just totally done with stuff. That's just something I need to remember every couple days. Goal 2 is to go to at least 4 new countries. I'm pretty resolved to travel anyway, like it's not a hard thing to keep up. I'm definitely going to Dubai in April. I'm definitely going to South Africa at the end of the year. Those are like my 2 definites. And then if I go back to my summer camp job in America, I am going to do a little road trip through Canada. And this trip to the UAE, I'm planning on going to Israel beforehand, and then hopefully afterwards Qatar and Bahrain and Kuwait, if these countries let me in and I can afford it. And I'm going with my dad in theory to most of those, so like it should be okay. That's 7 you can't, that's almost too much. And then if I decide to take a sabbatical in the autumn, which is like my vague plan, I'm gonna go to like Australia and New Zealand. So much travel. I have been saying that my 2017 is about travel and business, so that is the travel aspect. The other aspect, resolution 3, is that I'm going to start a successful business. This came about when I was looking at my student loans in September and realised I owed a lot of money to a lot of people, and it was an astonishing interest rate. And I kind of calculated out that if I make what I think I'm going to make over the next 30 years, I will end up having paid double the amount that my student loan is now. So it just makes way more financial sense to me in the future to pay it off as soon as possible. Obviously, at the moment, I just like pissing about and having fun and don't save anything. So the way I'm going to pay it back is by having a very lucrative business. I was listening to Tim Ferriss's podcast the other day, the Tim Ferriss Show, and he did an episode about like his kind of 2016 wrap up and the processes he goes through at the end of every year. And it was kind of tangential, but he started talking about making a list of like the most absurd things you can do. So it's like, what is the craziest thing you could do right now? And then by reading that list, you kind of analyze like, that's crazy, but actually might be really good for me. So like me going to an American summer camp in the first place was definitely like one of those kind of things. So me starting a business that like grosses £20,000 over the next year sounds absurd, but could I do it? Yes. So the whole of the second half of January for me, besides university and actual work, is going to be like working on setting this business up, and then it's going to be, I'm limiting it to 6 hours a week of time after that. Not all in one chunk, it can be separate. Part of me is like, it would make it a really interesting like podcast or video series talking about that. But that's not the priority. The priority is to make money. That is the only priority. I like have no shame. It's not going to be the most wholesome business ever. Maybe like very minorly scammy, but that's not the point. I'm not doing it to be proud of it. I'm doing it to make money so that future me will be a happier person. How else do you pay off your student loan in 3 years? Like, I have no idea. So yeah, those are my 3 New Year's resolutions. I was thinking, like, as I usually am, like, let's make more YouTube videos, let's start a podcast, let's write a tech blog. But as always, I'm like, everything I do is so fragmented, and I've kind of realized over the past couple months that the stuff that I'm like studying at university, or like the coding stuff I do, is my priority this year. It's not going to be, I'm not going to try and split myself so many ways. I'm going to try and focus on the things that matter. Plus like making loads of money, that thing as well. Anyway, you're now accountable for the things you do in the next year. Cheers.